30 years ago, the San Francisco 49ers fielded a team with 4 future Hall of Famers, but Hardy Brown was not one of them. Number 33 was a skinny linebacker who captained the San Francisco defense in the mid-50s and whose career is nearly forgotten today. But time cannot dull the memory of how Hardy Brown could hit.
Captain Charlie Connolly fires one to Bill's dribbling. All goes well until hard-hitting Hardy Brown hurls his hefty hulk into the ball carrier, and it's a fumble with Rex Berry recovering for the 49ers.
Brown never used his arms while tackling. Only a well-timed shoulder to separate men from the ball and their senses.
He had an educated shoulder where he'd snap it up and be able to time it so he hit a ball carrier or whatever right underneath his choppers.
I have seen him put people out cold with that shoulder, and Hardy was not a big man. He was only about 195, 200 pounds, but boy, he learned how to put that hump into you from Tulsa, and he hit.
When Bob Waterfield got through playing for the Rams, one day he was crossing some street down there in L.A., and a Volkswagen hit him, and he got up, and they said, "You all right?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm all right, but I thought Hardy Brown was in town." And that's it.
Perhaps Hardy Brown's violent nature was shaped at the Masonic Home for Orphans in Fort Worth, Texas, where he was sent at the tender age of 5 to learn about life and football.
And my father was murdered, and they sent me and my brother and my sister out there, and that's when we started fooling around football. I had an older brother, and he started teaching all the guys to play football out there using that kind of a shoulder. And all those kids that played out to home there, they had to play that way or they wouldn't make the team. One year we got to the semifinals, and we went up to play Amarillo, Texas. And finally they beat us 14-7. And they came in our dressing room and said, "You guys sure block funny." We said, "Why?" They showed us their lips, and they said, "All of us are split lips."
Football took Hardy Brown out of the orphanage and sent him to Tulsa University, then on to the 49ers, where he developed the skills of a solid pro linebacker. But it was Hardy's unique method of mayhem that made him a folk hero among those he played with and against.
I've seen Hardy Brown knock the helmet right off a player, hit him in the chest, chin, boom. The player's feet would continue down. You would see him running like this, player up in the air, helmet off, and just spread eagle.
Every time we'd play the Chicago Bears, Hallis would have the officials come in and inspect Hardy. Always thought he had a steel plate or something up on his shoulder pad. Hardy was a linebacker, and probably a very most punishing linebacker I think that I've ever known, who could throw a punch with exact timing and hit a guy right on the point of the nose. And that's usually where Hardy aimed for, the point of the nose.
It was kind of like a Jack Dempsey punch. It didn't need but 6 inches. That's all it needed, and you went to sleep.
You see these westerns, you see guys have niches on their belts for guys that killed. Boy, Hardy Brown had niches on his belt for all the jock straps he got. He put more people to sleep with a shoulder lick than anybody I've ever seen.
Take one step forward, keep your back straight, keep your eyes open, and shoot. Over the years, I guess I've got 75 or 80 knockouts playing professional football. No, I don't feel sorry for anybody I hit. I really don't. So they want to get me too. The Rams had a $500 deal for my getting knocked out of the game, and I found out about it. And the guy that told me was a guy that was in the backfield with me at Tulsa, Paul Berry. And I said, "Paul, if you get to play, come in and hit me, and I'll fake and go out, and we'll split that $500, $250 apiece."
Hardy, it's been almost 30 years since you've played, and the game's changed a lot since then. What do you think of the NFL today?
I think it's a sissy game. They won't let a linebacker beat a guy coming across the line or anything. You know what I'd do? If I was playing for some team and one of the good ends came across, well, I'd take a whack at him and knock him out so that we wouldn't have to fool with him anymore. I might cave a few teeth in.
During the whole time that you played, Hardy, did you ever come across anybody you felt was as tough as you were? Somebody you know who could hit as hard as you could?
Nobody. Nobody. I mean that. Unless it's been one of my teammates out to home.